What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Salford City Career Mode in FIFA 20. And before we get into the matches themselves against Macclesfield, I do want to let you know, as I kind of mentioned in the previous video, starting the next one, so not this one, but the next one, we're going to be simulating all matches unless, you know, we're in the midst of a true battle for first, or really, like, most importantly, through the outside of the automatic promotion spots. So I think from 4th to 8th, then we will be simulating all matches that are played against teams that aren't in the top 10. So, and then if we develop a big enough lead, then we'll be skipping all matches against teams that are outside the top 8, so the playoff range. Because I feel like that's probably the smartest way to do it, as we have a great opportunity to start off the match against Macclesfield. Unfortunately, not able to really connect very well with the header. Medina takes a shot from distance, and it's actually a pretty damn good shot for a center back. But yeah, I just feel like that's probably the best way to progress this career mode, as for I guess a good opportunity too, because it's going to be a long one. That's no doubt about that. Macclesfield get their very first shot of the game, and of course they put it in the back of the net off the post. That's very unfortunate. Very fortunate for them. It's almost like he's as lucky as Jopina. That's only an inside joke that a few people will, an inside joke that only a few people understand, but those who don't understand will most likely laugh their asses off. But yeah, I just feel like because this is going to be a very, very long series, Dest almost giving the ball to the Macclesfield striker there, I think it's probably best to start simulating some of the easier matches unless the game starts really fucking with us and starts making us lose matches. But we're doing a good job of that, playing the matches ourselves. Going 2-0 down against a team like Macclesfield is pretty embarrassing. I mean, it's not as embarrassing as Juventus losing 4-2 after being up 2-0, which I just recorded, you know, because the game just ended, what, 20 minutes ago. So that's just kind of giving you guys an idea of the level of performance we're going through, and I think we're definitely the top team in this league. There's no doubt about that, and Macclesfield is very far from being one of the top teams, and yet they're giving us a run for our money. They're just, I mean, we've had a lot of chances, I will say that. We've been actually producing a lot of decent football in this match. We haven't had great finishing, but we've been creating a lot of opportunities. We have another one right there. Jervis this time takes the shot from pretty far out. The keeper is well positioned, and the shot wasn't exactly angled very well. Off the header on the corner from, I think it's Hill, we have another opportunity, but we can't finish that one either. And with only 3 minutes left, Macclesfield create a pretty good opportunity off the right flank. And here they come with Ironside finding Blythe, and they make it 3-0 in basically the 91st minute. So at this point, match is definitely not just over, but it's been over for a long time at this point. So a disappointing result, because with a win here, you know, there's every chance in the world, because this league is so competitive, because our rivals are losing points left, right, and center. I mean, even to be fair, so are we at times. It's, you know, every match can basically be a huge result for you if you get it right, because you could potentially pull away quite a bit every single weekend over 3 or 4 different opponents. And like I said, because this league is so competitive, there's always 3 or 4 teams right there, right all bunched up together. So it's not going to be an easy championship necessarily if we make it a difficult one. What I mean by that is we are absolutely superior to pretty much every team in this league. I mean, it's night and day. It's night and day between, you know, the difference between us, our team, our lineup, and what they can produce. So there's no reason for us to struggle, but that doesn't mean we're not going to. Now against Colchester, and Nketiah starts off the match with a beautiful finish. If that was basketball, that would have been and one. I mean, guaranteed. I mean, this poor guy got completely destroyed. But it doesn't matter. 1-0. Colchester is actually, I think, I think they're right there with us. If I'm not mistaken, they were like 6th or 7th. So they're actually a pretty decent team, which means this is an important match, because, you know, one win from these guys could essentially open everything up, not just for themselves, but also all the other teams around us, because that's just kind of, I kind of compare it to like Moto 3. If you're talking about road racing, it's because, you know, everybody is so bunched up, it's so competitive, that, and the quality is pretty much the same for all teams except for, I guess in this case, us, that it makes things a lot more difficult. Like if one result as we go 2-0 up, one result that's you know, one win can really send you pretty far away, but it could also, one loss could definitely keep you grounded and put you into battle with 4 or 5 teams. So you want to try to keep as much distance as possible. Try to continue to basically do our thing. You know, play our matches and just kind of play our football, because whether or not we win or lose, the important thing for me, and especially the starts with these players, is just playing good football. As we go 3-0 up, I'm pretty sure that's Nketiah's hat trick, but there's still 20 minutes left, so we could potentially get another one. And like I was just saying, like the important thing for me for this season, because I would say promotion is pretty much a guarantee, the important thing is essentially building up the players and getting them good and gelling for next season. As of course, defensively, a huge error is made there by Dest, who I would expect a lot better than that from him, considering he's probably our best defender. He's our highest rated, that's for sure. He's only one above Medina, but everybody else is way lower than him. So I would expect a lot better than him. Sorry, a lot better than that from him. But at the same time, you know, mistakes can happen, especially at this level, where a lot of it's not just like individual errors, it's also just general team errors from bad positioning, people not being open for passes, and things like that can happen. We get the 3 points. That's the only thing that matters. 4 shots, 3 goals for Nketiah, who just continues to confirm that he is way better than this level. And he's definitely a player that's going to be huge for us in the future if we can sign him on a permanent deal after his 2-year loan expires. Now we have Southend in the leasing.com trophy, and we have an FA Cup match. And I've said this a few times because now we're getting a lot of FA Cup matches in the span of in a very short time span. Like, for me, the main priority for this season is getting promotion. That's 100%, and of course winning the title would be the ideal way to do so. A second thing I want to do is have a good FA Cup run, and we actually start off very well, creating a great chance that Marin unfortunately isn't able to put away because the keeper, I mean, he had a hell of a save, but definitely the striker should in no way whatsoever allow the keeper an opportunity to make that save. But this time Marin doesn't make a mistake. It's 1-0 against MK Dons. 35 minutes in. Still got a lot of time. Have to worry about, you know, conceding a goal and letting them get into this, because that's kind of the difficult thing with this level of team, is that defensively you are going to make a mistake in the course of a 90-minute match. So it's just a matter of time, and it's kind of like you have to have a big enough cushion to where even if you do make a mistake, which of course you will make, you have enough, you have enough of a gap between them on the scoreline to where you can still feel comfortable regardless. As Sir Tortoretto realizes he's on the verge of taking a League 2 team past whatever the first or second round I think this is of the FA Cup, and as we go on, it's going to get more and more difficult. But at the same time, it's a very prestigious cup to win for a club like us, and there's all the chances in the world that we can actually have a pretty decent one. And if we get good draws, then that means we could potentially go to one of the later stages, and who knows, maybe going against a team like Man City, against Liverpool, United, something like that. Have to go against one of these top teams, and kind of just put ourselves to the test and not really see what's going to happen when we get to the Premier League. Because of course, by the time we get to the Prem, there's going to be a lot of a lot of changes to the team, not just in terms of signing and selling people, but also in terms of just the pure growth of a lot of these really talented young players, as MK Dons come very close to making it 2-1 for themselves. Nketiah inside the box. He's excellent from that position, and he makes it 2-1. Hell of a strike there from Nketiah. I mean, this guy is just continuing to surprise me, because he's not just scoring tap-ins. He's not just scoring your basic goals. He's scoring goals from pretty difficult positions. I mean, just look at this. The angle he had to find was very, very tight, and he was able to find it perfectly. The goalkeeper probably should have done better, but he should have done way better. But still, you can't really expect too much from this level goalkeeper. And I definitely can't expect too much from my strikers, but he's surprising me every time, and he's continuing to put in excellent performances in all competitions. Ferreira takes a pretty decent shot from outside the box, puts it just over the top bar, as MK Dons is starting to struggle a little bit. We're starting to create a lot more chances. I mean, to be fair, we've played a decent match. Finishing has just been lacking. That's our biggest issue, is if we can start putting 1 or 2 on the board and keeping clean sheets, then we should be fine. But the issue is clean sheets are not easy to come by. Not just with these defenders, but also with Zidane as a keeper. I've got to say, I was expecting a lot more from him. I know he's low rated, but I don't know, he seems like a guy who would grow quite a bit according to FootWiz. So I had some faith in him. Probably misplaced the faith. Probably should have gone with somebody like Vlad, or somebody who's maybe going to grow up a little bit better, but I don't know. We'll see what happens for next season as we just continue our siege against the MK Dons goalkeeper. But he's basically just putting up a hell of a fight all on his own. I mean, he's single-handedly kept them in this match, as Dest breaks through the line of defense, and he makes it 3-1 with a great assist. Who scored that shit? Was that Ferreira? I'm pretty sure we took out Ferreira, so it definitely can't be him. It might be Garner. It might be Louis Ferguson. or Titsavili or one. We're pretty sure that those guys are out, like Titsavili. It's number 21, I think. Regardless, hell of a strike. No, it's Hill. It's our center back. Oh my goodness, that's surprising right there. A center back put together that finish. So he's definitely a lot better than I expected. As of course, as you can tell, we are in. Yeah, the match went way deeper into stoppage time than was really necessary, considering we were 3-1 up. But it is what it is. Another W in the books as we continue our run towards, who knows, maybe a quarterfinal. Like I said, that's kind of my goal right now for the FA Cup. I feel like that would be a very respectable performance, and one that we can look at in the future as maybe the moment where we started to build up a lot and build up a head of steam and starting to get confidence. I mean, that's the important thing. And now we go into the Leasing.com Trophy Cup, which is something that I'm not really too interested in, but it is something that, every trophy is valuable. I mean, let's just be real. Like, we're a small club. We're in the bottom league. We need to just try to get every trophy we possibly can. Wilson creates some space with his right foot. Let's not forget he has a pretty decent right foot. I think he has like a 4-star or 5-star weak foot, so he can do that with both feet. Not necessarily going to be the best because he's not a great player, but he can still create some chances. And so we get a penalty here. See if it's a red card too, because I mean it was a pretty bad tackle to be fair, but a yellow card I think is probably the right choice there. Tom Clifford I don't think deserved to be sent off. Now opportunity for Wilson, who hasn't been playing many games, definitely not as a starter. Can he put away the penalty? And he can. The keeper, to be fair, he dove in the right direction. He just didn't have enough energy. He didn't have enough strength really in his legs to dive as hard as he needed to, and Wilson dances his ass off as if he's a Brazilian, getting himself another goal. And to be fair, he's been playing pretty well this season. Like, for a guy who hasn't played much as a starter, he has been doing well. And speaking of subs playing well, Towel, aka Kabir Magomedov's wife, as my man Shepard said in the comments in the latest video, and that's a bit uncalled for, I know, but it is what it is, gets himself a goal of his own. This is a guy that realistically he could be a starter if we hadn't gotten a ton of really good promising players. Unfortunately, it's 2-1 now, so the match isn't as easy as it was looking like it was going to be as we go into the 38th minute. 48th now, potentially another opportunity. Andrade is in the box, has it on his left foot. It's not his best foot, and he puts it over the bar, but still have to appreciate the effort and the performance he puts together off the benches. This time Zidane actually makes a decent save. And this is a guy who, I mean, he's just unfortunately very inconsistent and not, in general, not very good. Good defending here, though, and the bicycle kick was never going to actually be a problem for Zidane. I mean, even a 68 overall could stop that, no problem. So, no threat was actually created by that. It was more spectacular than it was efficient. As we go ahead and make a few subs. Now, take into consideration this is our cup team, so for the most part, don't really need to worry about people being too tired. These are all guys that won't be playing the next match more than likely. So we can just kind of put people around and give people, the minutes that they need and the minutes that they deserve as we try to improve in any ways we can. And basically to secure ourselves the next round. As I yawn, sorry guys. Yeah, 2-1 win. I'm not gonna complain about it. The important thing is that our sub lineup is able to get results, and I'm not really going to be worried about them in the long run because a lot of these guys won't be at the club in the long run. I feel like a lot of these guys will probably want to leave because they're not getting the time that they were allegedly promised. So on the top of the leaderboard, we have a 5-point lead over Exeter City. Bradford is at 38. So this basically 1 point between each team except for us who have a 5-point lead. So I mean, we're set. We're definitely looking good, and I feel like simulating is kind of risky, but at the same time, we're so much better than everybody else, and we should be able to win even simulating, no problem. So I'm going to go ahead and trust FIFA, which is something I don't recommend anybody ever do. Assists and leaderboards hasn't really changed much. O'Donnell is still top, but that doesn't really mean much considering they're still 5 points behind us. Or actually, no, they're more than that because they're behind Exeter as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and let me know in the comment section down below what you think of the series itself, what can I improve on for the series, and what do you really think that we should do to build up this team in the future as we go up to, hopefully, League One, and then the Championship, and then the Premier League. If you have like a plan that you guys think I could follow, let me know, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks you so much for watching.